Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Wedding Jam podcast with Martine and Jason. I am Martine Darniak. I'm a wedding planner in the Hudson Valley area. And here's Jason. Jason, please
Hi.
introduce yourself.
Oh, we're already kind of stepping all over each other. So I am Jason Alicea, wedding videographer in the Hudson Valley and New York City. And yeah, welcome to New York Wedding Jam.
So, Jason, when you proposed this podcast, I was super excited because just talking to you in general is always a lot of fun. But can you tell everybody why you wanted to do a podcast?
I had a podcast before that was really aimed at other wedding filmmakers, and I was actually doing it with another wedding filmmaker, and I kind of dropped off, and I really was looking to connect more with brides, couples, right, in the area, in the tri-state area, who were getting married. And there's a lot of things that I encounter on wedding days that I wish went differently, or I wish couples knew before they, went into their, had their wedding. Things that I wish that they knew, and sometimes things they wished they knew as well. So I wanted to communicate and kind of put out a message and really help couples plan their wedding.
One of the reasons that I really wanted to join you on this podcast is I would say a good 30% of my job is helping couples understand what they're about to get into and helping them move along in the process. So as a planner, I also see lots of things that when people have made mistakes, it's harder to correct later, especially for something like a wedding where it's only one day. One of the reasons I got into the business of wedding planning was that I wanted to help people and I wanted to make this simpler. I would see people who on a regular basis were the most put together, everything goes according to plan kind of people, and would lose their minds as they were wedding planning. And I just felt that there had to be a better way. Now, I'm a planner by nature, so there's a lot of things that the way that my brain works and the way that I process things. But what I also found out, in helping other people before I even started officially as a wedding planner, what I've also found out is that there's just a lot of information you don't know. And when people get into wedding planning, you don't know what you don't know. And so wanting to help people get into a place where they can be on the right foot and make wedding planning less stressful and more fun. Because that's what weddings are about for me. Is it's about the fun and the family and the love. And so we want to make sure as best as possible that we're giving people the information that can help them.
I think it's funny that you talk about being a wedding, like being a planner type by nature. I am not the best planner in my personal life, but but as I've done this for the 5 years that I've been doing this, I am becoming a better planner, and I am thinking ahead more. And I was married 7 years ago. When I look at some of the things that the couples are going through now, I can relate. I can kind of understand some of the frustrations that they're going through, and sometimes the sticker shock when things cost an astronomical amount of money. And my wife and I were just completely stunned when we heard the prices that we were quoted. And we were definitely not getting married in a luxury venue, and we are not luxury, but certainly I can relate to couples just with how things work and how vendors think, how vendors operate, and how couples think and how couples operate, because it wasn't too long ago that I was kind of in the same seat experiencing these things for myself.
Well, and I think that's part of what I'm saying is that, like, a lot of the times you're walking into this and you have a number in your head of what might be reasonable to spend for a wedding, but it's based on just kind of a fictitious number, right? It's not something that you do every day. It's probably the first and only time you're ever going to do something like this. And so it makes it hard to relate any actual numbers. In addition to which, like, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, lack of information if what you're starting with is just kind of searching on the internet or searching, average pricing for weddings, for example, or things like that. And so it is frustrating if you get into a situation where you're expecting to spend X number of dollars and then you realize that someone lied to you essentially, right? That there's no way that you can make what you want to happen within those numbers, or you only have whatever you have, right? And you have to make it work whatever the situation is. And so part of what I'm hoping that we can do is essentially help people better understand the ins and outs of the industry so that they can navigate it a little bit better.
Yeah, I definitely, I think that's right. What I'm thinking about is sometimes, and I guess we'll get into this as we get into the podcast, but just a lot of times I think there are things that are misunderstood by couples, and a vendor is thinking one thing, and the vendor thinks that it's that they are operating in the best interest of the client, and sometimes the couple may not feel that or understand why certain options are available and why certain decisions are being made by that vendor. And the couple feels, well, they might be taking advantage of me. And we're not here to defend every single vendor, because there's, just like in any field, there's some good ones and some bad ones and a lot of in between. But I think that, helping couples to understand some of the things that go on behind the scenes and providing advice to help them navigate, right? And I think that's really one of our big goals here on the podcast.
So that's really what New York Wedding Jam's going to be about, right? So we're going to be here talking about how to help couples navigate the landscape, help people better understand what they're about to step into, help people better understand how to make their day about fun and love, and just be able to get to the end of this and enjoy it. Enjoy the party, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy the whole experience of wedding planning and your wedding day ultimately.
Yeah, just enjoy. All right, Martine. So we'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.